Hi guys, today is November 5th, 2019, and I'm gonna talk to you about something that I'm not even sure I'm gonna post. But I thought I would do this and record this while everything was raw and new, even if I just keep it as a journal for myself. On Sunday, November 3rd, I auditioned for American Idol again, season 3. So I'm gonna talk about this whole experience so far. And I filmed a little bit of the day. I wanna talk about what happened on Sunday. So I filmed the audition round. And just so everyone knows, you have to audition to get to the auditions for Katie, Luke, and Lionel. You don't just walk up, show up, there's hundreds of thousands of people, and they see everybody. That's not how that works. So anyway, I've been wanting to do this since the day I got voted off in Hawaii of last season. I was like, I'm just gonna, things don't come easy. I don't deserve anything, but I will work hard, and I believe in hard work, and I wanna see where this will get me. And so I wrote in this little notebook I have over there, and I said, if I keep pushing forward every single day and work hard, I'll come back. I hope I can come back, and that opportunity presents itself. Thank the Lord, it has. So Sunday was the day, and I'm gonna talk about the day. Here we go. Sorry, that was a long lead up, but it was a long day. So woke up 4 a.m. Good morning, world. I'm back. It's not working. Good morning on my audition, and I'm debugging my face. On Sunday, November 3rd. It's 4 a.m. Day of my audition. Drinking for good luck out of my Margie Mays mug. Bring me good luck. Is this a bad time? Spilled. This was the final day they filmed auditions. So the judges go to about 5 cities, and the day of that city, like the day you would see Los Angeles people auditioning, which is where I auditioned, it's actually split up into 3 days. I was the final day. So they'd already gone to all the other cities. They'd already filmed 2 days of auditions in LA, and I was the final day. And there was about 30 of us auditioning. Showed up, got up at 4, got ready, had so much energy, super excited, and I went with Johnny this time, my boyfriend. How you feeling, Bunkers? Do you feel nervous? Do you feel excited?
I will feel nervous as soon as we get there.
Okay.
She'll let y'all go.
Okay, bye.
I'll stay home. Proud of you.
Proud of you. So he also was auditioning, which is really, really exciting. And I remember all of last season, anytime they filmed me, I said, my boyfriend should be on this show. He deserves to be on this show. He could win this show. They should roll the tapes. I wish they would give me that footage, but they wouldn't. But anyway, I kept putting into the atmosphere, I want Johnny to do this with me. And he blew him away when he auditioned for the producers in July. So we both got sent through to the judges. Anyway, call time was 5:45 in the morning. We showed up in downtown LA where we were filming, and just lines of, there's 30 people plus their families are waiting there, because you can bring as many people as you want. I brought my mom and my dad and my littlest brother James, and Johnny had his mom and his dad and his little sister Jenna. Waiting in line at 6:30. So all of us are waiting. We're in the back of the line. We wait, and then eventually you go inside. Look where we are. Hanging on the 34 balcony window. And it's a huge building we're in. You get chaperoned if you have to go to the bathroom. A lot of waiting. But then, well, it actually was not even as much waiting as it was last year. Basically, we got up there. You wait in some lines, like maybe things didn't start moving till like 7 a.m. Once that hit, it was like we started filming. We get settled for a second, and then pretty quickly they started doing a lot of B-roll, which people that don't know what B-roll is, it's like extra, like subsidiary footage that may or may not be used. Things like talking to other contestants, talking with your family, talking with Bobby Bones. Yeah, so that kind of stuff. Things that aren't the auditions, which for the audition episodes, right? I had to film a scene pretty quickly with I think actually the first thing that I did was there was another contestant who she had said like her favorite contestant from last season was me, and so we did the fake out like Maddie Poppy did to me last year, and I ran up while she was, this girl, her name was Tori, and she was talking to Bobby Bones, and he was like, who was your favorite contestant, blah blah blah, did anyone resonate with you? And while she's saying that, he's like, I brought someone, and I run out, surprise her. She didn't cry, so I cried when they did that to me with Maddie Poppy. I'm not as cool as Maddie Poppy. Shout out to you, love you. Anyway, we did that, and then I filmed a scene with Bobby Bones and Johnny about, why I'm back and what I hope to accomplish. And I want to show them that I'm not just a kooky, groupie dookie girl, even though that is part of me. I also have worked on my music. I've worked on my craft since I was cut last time, and Lionel told me in Hawaii, he put his hands on my shoulders and he said, come back with serious stuff. And so Margie 2.0, she was here. Filmed this scene with Bobby. He's super nice. I was accidentally I forget that I accidentally, when I'm just excited and nervous, touch Johnny a lot, and they were like, this is a family show, and he was super funny about it. Anyway, so it was all going great. We went back, and then we had to film some social media stuff, because I guess at some point when you see this show will be well over, but they're like, we got word that we can announce that Margie's coming back, but we can't announce her boyfriend's coming. So we did all these cool scenes where I like take Johnny's jacket and like flip it up, and he's gonna appear, but it's gonna be just his backside, all this stuff, like literally tons of filming. Film social media clips, you do like interview stuff, you take headshots with them. It was so nice to see all the people that work the show again, because they are so lovely. I love American Idol, all the people that work at the show. Like I always say, if I can't make it, I want to go work at American Idol one day. It's just, they're amazing people, and I wholeheartedly love the whole production, not just because it changed my life. At first we were told you were last of the day. That means like we would have been up since 4 and we would be singing at like, who knows, 7 p.m., 8 p.m., 9 p.m. You're never really sure with those things. Luckily we got moved. Things change all the time throughout that day. We got moved to the first third of the people, which was good. And then quickly before I knew it, we had went in for our audition. About to go in for my audition, and I'm nervous as creek. James told me he's nervous for me. How you guys feeling?
Good, excited.
Whew. This will be the last you see of me if the answer is no. Oh, we also, before we audition, we have to run the rehearsal, because the rule is you can either sing a cappella, or you can play for yourself, piano or guitar, or you can use their accompanist that they provide, piano or guitar player, or you can bring your own accompanist. So Johnny was gonna play for me. So the day of, you have to rehearse in front of one of the producers to make sure everything's in the time limit, like 90 seconds or less, all this stuff. So one of the producers who I actually have met, he was part of casting both this season and last season, and I also had done this disastrous audition with him 3 years ago. Literally like my first audition ever, didn't plan to do it. He happened to be at my music school, all this stuff. He literally told me that was a train wreck. And so anyway, I've had this funny relationship with this guy. I see him 1 time a year basically, and I found a boy, and the other 2 songs I had prepared, one was Magic and Me, the original song I just released, and the other one was a duet with Johnny called Quitter. We did all those things, and he looked at me and he was like, you know, Margie, I have to say, like, since I've met you, your artistry has grown so much. It's pretty beautiful. And I was super excited, and I was so thankful, and felt like really excited to walk in the door and all this stuff and see the judges again, right? Because they're lovely people. And I had such an amazing audition last year. So we had a rehearsal. Basically, we worked, and then all of a sudden they were filming until the second we were filming with people until they were like, they are walking, and Margie and Johnny have to go in for their audition. So one of the executives came out right before we walked in, and she said, FYI, we're probably not gonna have you guys sing together. You guys are gonna walk in together. Obviously, it's not scripted, so you never really know what's gonna happen, but we're gonna walk in together. Margie's gonna go first, they're gonna judge her, and then she has to leave, and Johnny is gonna go, he's gonna sing, they're gonna judge him, and then he's gonna walk out the door, and Margie gets to see what happens there. So that was kind of weird, and they were also like, you're not really, I don't think we're gonna have you sing together at all. Which was okay, so we were like, sounds good. We walk in the room, and I see Katie, Luke, and Lionel. First time since Hawaii / the finale, but I wasn't allowed to talk to them when I saw them like from afar on the stage. Anyway, first time I'm able to talk to them since Hawaii. I'm so excited, right? But I also knew I wasn't gonna be crazy kooky Margie, because I really was on a mission to be like, I'm a serious competitor this year. So I walk in, the first thing that happens is no one really looks excited to see me, and which is okay, because I remember last year when I walked in, Katie was taking some vitamins, and therefore, like, nobody really talked at first, and I'm like that kind of person that's like, I must make conversation, so I just started going crazy, hence all the spastic noises. This time I'm just like, hi, and I'm smiling at them, and they're like, not that excited, but I wasn't sure, I was just letting it wash over me, right? And I'm like, hello, and then they're like, someone was like, are you sedated right now? And I'm like, no, I just feel calm because I know them. And after doing the first season, I realized these are good people. They want to see you do well. And so I felt comfortable. I didn't feel like I had to prove anything other than that I've improved, right? So I walked in and felt comfortable. And at first I kind of felt like that comment made me feel like I was already disappointing them. if I wasn't being crazy, was I enough? But you know, I'm like, this is the moment. So all these things are kind of washing over me. I'm having those thoughts, but they're washing over. I'm still going. We talk and it was for a little bit, and I can't remember every moment of the conversation, but Luke was super nice and he said, you've always been a star to us, Margie, and whether you were gonna be a talk show host or an E! News anchor or a Broadway star, like you've always been a star to us. And that was so nice and like made me feel really good, and I hadn't even sung yet. And Lionel, Papa Lionel, is like, the girl that walked in here today, I like her more, which was so nice because he was the one that was like, told me no last year and was like, in a nice way, but he said, you know, come back with serious stuff, and I was here to do that, and he saw that. And then they asked, who'd you bring? And I said, this is the love of my life, Johnny. And they were like, those are some big words. And I said, I know, this is my guy, and he's super talented. And I told them all, before any of this starts, he's gonna blow me out of the water because he's way more talented than me. And I'm totally cool with that. I'm so proud of him. And then Katie asked, how did you meet? And I start telling her, and I talk really fast, and I was telling this story. I just felt like they didn't really care, but I also was talking because I was excited because I love my guy and I knew they were gonna be blown away by him. I said, long story short, we're in love and he's here and he's gonna blow you away. And so that was that. They're like, what are you gonna sing for us? And I said, I'm gonna sing I Found a Boy. It's like a deep cut Adele song. And I said to them, I didn't pick this because I brought him with me, but ironically, it is called I Found a Boy. And I really would have picked that song regardless of whether Johnny came with me or not. I've loved that song for years. Anyway, I sang. And vocally, I did great. I was super proud of myself. They had this cool moment where like the camera's always on you, but you don't see them. But sometimes if someone's having like a great performance, they come in and fly the camera in front of you to get like a really cool view. And they did that for me. And I was like, like I felt super proud of myself and finished it, and everything sounded great. And then things started going kind of weird because I stopped singing. I look at them, they're silent, exactly like they were silent after I sang my first song last time I did this. And I said, oh no, the silence. And then they thought I was supposed to leave because they thought they were gonna judge me later. Anyway, then the producers were like, you have to judge her. They're like, okay. Then they just realized they have to talk. Luke goes first. Luke is a lovely man, and he says, you know, Margie, last time you were here, every time we saw you perform, there was something in the vocal that was off, whether, you know, you'd have a wrong note or something at some point in your performance. And that is totally true. But he looked at me and he said, this time there wasn't one wrong note. And he said, I can tell that you went home and you worked on your craft and you came here with the voice first time, but this time you've improved, and that shows that you've gone to work. And I actually started getting, just with all of what was going on, the way the camera flew in front of me and he started saying these lovely, nice, and you could feel the warmth coming from him, I like got a little emotional and started kind of crying, which now I feel stupid about, but it's how I felt. I was really proud of myself because this was a dream and I put my mind to it and didn't know if it would ever come true again or if I have a moment to redeem myself. And so feeling really happy. And then Lionel speaks and he starts out and he's like, can I give you some advice about this play industry? And I said, sure. And he's like, don't take everything so personally. And then he means it in a very kind way. Lionel is such a kind man. And so he's like, don't take everything so personally. He goes, the girl that showed up here today, I believe you are resilient enough for this industry. And that made me feel really proud of myself. Because it's hard to take criticism and put yourself out there in front of the world and be told you're not good enough, and it's hard. It can be hard. And to get back up and be like, I'm gonna try again, you never know what's gonna happen. So I felt really proud of myself because I do feel like I've got this, my skin is getting thicker every time I put myself on the limb, and I want this, so I'm gonna try and try again. So he said that. And then he said, I don't think that was the best song choice, which was fine. I didn't like, after I sang, I didn't think like bad song choice, but that was his opinion. And I can see that. Maybe I did, like I, in the past, had emotionally connected better with other songs. Maybe I just more, probably when I went in there, I was like, I just want to sing the crap out of this song well, rather than think about, I want to have an emotional moment. So I was totally receptive and everything was good. And he had great things to say. And then it was Katie's turn to speak. And she kind of took the direction of everything different. Basically, she was like, you know, Margie, that was not a good song choice. I felt nothing emotionally from that. And she was like, you know, you did show some parts of your voice that you didn't show last year, which was cool, which my own reflection of that is I feel like that did she remember last year? Like all I did last year was belt, 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 over and over, big voice, big voice, big voice. And this song was actually much more nuanced and not as much about the belting. So I just thought it was weird that she said that, because it was like, do you remember the things I sang last year? Not that I expect her to, but when she says it as if she does remember, it was kind of, anyway, felt weird about it. And then it got worse. And then she just said, and kept talking about, she just didn't really know if it was gonna be I didn't really have it. And then at one point, I remember looking over to towards Johnny, just because it was like the climate of the room was going down dramatically, and it felt dramatically like Hawaii. It was awkward. And then somebody was like, let's take a vote. And it was hard, because she said all this stuff and I had only sung one thing, and I had 2 other things that could have, shown her with more emotional connection or whatever. They just didn't want to hear it. And so Lionel voted first, and he gave me a yes. Thank you, Lionel. And then Katie was second, and she looked at me and she was just like, when I met you last year, I believed in you. I thought you were top 10. That was one of the things she said when I met her. And she goes, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm a no. I'm really a no. And I felt like I definitely didn't expect it. And I also, like, how could you go from believing in me to not believing me at all with just 90 seconds of singing that I sang really well? Maybe I just didn't emotionally connect, but enough for you? I don't know. And so it was weird, and truly in the moment, I was like, okay, I'm not gonna go through, and this is so weird. Not even gonna get a chance to compete again. And then so dragged out too. Like so much felt like so much tearing me down. And so she gave me a no, and it was up to Luke, and I truly, truly thought he was about to give me a no, because I felt like a setup. It was weird. And he looked at me, and he's a kind soul, and he just was like, I can't even remember what he said. Eventually he was like, I think I'm gonna give you a chance to go to Hollywood. And so he grabs this golden ticket, and I just felt so sucked of excitement and life and inspiration that I walked up, and Lionel shook my hand, and Luke smiles at me and gives me this thing, and Katie looks at me and is like, pick better songs. I said, okay. And then I had to walk out, and I turned to Johnny. I wasn't even able to like touch him or hug him the whole time. And I said, good luck, or I love you. And Luke, the best part I think was Lionel looked at me and he goes, you really said that? You really mean that? And I said, that's my guy. And he's like, I'm happy for you. And those are the moments where you're like, wow, that's a good man, a sweet man. And anyway, so I got this golden ticket, and I had to walk up to my family and Johnny's family and Ryan Seacrest, feeling really, really roasted. And as I'm walking out, I hear Luke Bryan start singing Heartless by Kanye West to Katie, who was super awkward. And I walk out, and they're my parents, see the golden ticket, and they're all like, yay! And I'm like, I literally like didn't look happy. Felt so weird. And Ryan Seacrest was like, what's wrong? What happened in there? And I was like, I feel like I just got wrecked. They didn't like my song choice, and I didn't get into the details because it's also like it's on camera, and I don't want to sound ungrateful. And I was still processing because it had just happened, and I was in so much shock and weirdness. And then basically I had to just he was like, but you still got it. And I'm like, yeah. And then I had to just stand there feeling really weird and wait for Johnny to come out. I could hear him singing in there. I knew he was gonna freaking blow them away, which he did. He got 3 yeses, and they were like, you remind us of Alejandro. All you need is a lane. You don't need any coaching. You are great. You're amazing. And he is. And I'm so proud of him. He walks out with the golden ticket. And then I got really emotional because I just saw how proud of himself he was. And this is the reason I wanted him to do this, was because he deserves to feel that. Yeah, and so we're sobbing, and I just am so happy for him. And then literally after that, it was like notes. I like shed some tears because I felt so weird about all of it. And then the rest of the day, literally Johnny and I were filming more scenes. We got whisked off to this park somewhere in LA to film like the hero shots and the couple shots again. And then we ran together and tried to do these things. We got golden tickets. Then we had to come back from this park, and we had to do more confessional stuff. And you do pre-audition scenes in the confessional, even though you've already auditioned, so you pretend like you haven't. And then you do post-audition, and then we both had to do that. And then we had to do pre and post-audition together. So much stuff. Then you meet with a psychologist, you meet with a PR person, you have to do a 600 257 question psych test that luckily I didn't have to do because I did it last year and it still was in its like limits of statute of limitations or whatever it was, and Johnny had to do his. We're there till 10 p.m. This literally was the longest day. At some point I went to get we'd filmed so much stuff that by the time I went to get all my bags, my parents had left for the airport, Johnny's family had left. We never said bye to either of them. All of my bags, I go to the holding room. Everyone from American Idol, besides the people that worked there, were gone. The whole room was cleared out except they were like, is this your stuff? And it was like 17 bags. And I was like, yeah, this is all mine because my family left all the snacks. So I had to clean it all up. We left around 10 p.m. and that was the day. Then I went home and I cried because it's hard. I never expected this to be a walk in the park at all, but it didn't expect to get her to not believe in me. I don't know. This is the part I don't know if I can put into the world, but that was my audition experience, round 2. And it's 2 days after and I'm still really anxious about it. Makes me feel like I'm gonna get cut the first round of Hollywood Week. I don't know. And so somehow in this next 3 weeks, I have to totally regroup myself, prepare, which I've already started, prepare for the potential 3 rounds of Hollywood Week. You never know if you'll even make it. You know you're gonna do lines of 10 the first round, but then if you make it, you go to group round, which you can't prepare for, and then if you make through group night, you go to solo round. It's a lot of chaos and a lot of stress, and it's hard because you prepare for like solo round, you don't even know if you're gonna make it there, but it's hard because last time, I think I would have been like, brush it off, you know, you gotta know, which I did last year too, but just work hard, and if you sing great, you can make them believe in you. And this time around, I'm like, what did I do to her to make her not like me so much? And am I disappointing that I'm not kooky? Do I even stand a chance, even if I do sing my heart out? It's hard, and I didn't ever expect my feelings to change so drastically. However, overall, I love this show. That was my experience auditioning for American Idol the second time. And I'm gonna keep doing these as it goes on, whether I share them or it's just my own documentary of this, but that was it. I'll keep you updated. Hope I make it through Hollywood Week, round 2, but it's hard. Hardest week of my life. And that's that.